Good evening, everyone. And today we have this webinar on one of the most exciting topic, which the topic for this weekend, for this particular month, have been received mostly by the students and like what kind of salary we have it in as far as pharmaceutical industry or pharmaceutical jobs are concerned, and what are those highly paid jobs in pharma, but like maybe not just as a fresher but over a period of time in industry or in corporate anywhere. What are those top 10 highly paid jobs in pharma? So this is particularly top 10 highly paid jobs in pharma, where I'm going to share you all about all those 10 highly paid jobs which are there in pharmaceutical industry, maybe in research, maybe in clinical research, sales, and we will be going ahead with through oral discussion on those front. So this webinar is brought to you by OPEX, which is a part of a startup which is into skilling students, skilling graduates, so that to make them industry ready. And as we all know, OPEX is authorized and certified from National Skill Development Corporation. So let's move ahead with this topic: top 10 highly paid jobs in pharma. Before I do that, let me first wish you all, the pharmacy students and graduates, happy World Pharmacist Day. Most of the students, you may have celebrated this World Pharmacist Day today, because considering this year's 25th September is on Sunday. So most of you may have already celebrated this World Pharmacist Day. So wishing you everyone World Pharmacist Day. And we as a healthcare professional, we as a pharma professional, let's remember that we are those who are creating a change, who are creating impact on large scale of the society. So let's assure, like, we all need to be confident as well as impactful as far as our values are concerned as a pharmacist. Now this is the outline of my entire session for the next 40 minutes. So first of all, before I explain you on top 10 highly paid jobs, I'll be, sharing you what are those new trends which are coming with the help of technology, and what are those new opportunities which which are there for the pharmacy graduates, which are even there for all those experienced pharmacy professionals, right? And then I'll be, sharing you top 10 highly paid jobs, where I'll be, actually sharing you what is the job role, what is the experience which is required in the industry, and what would be the starting point. Because as a graduate, as a fresher, you need to first understand, if this is the highly paid job, then after my graduation, from where I should enter, what would be my starting point or entry point. And I'll be, also sharing you the average salary, the average package, yearly package of that particular job role. Next, I'll be, actually sharing you how exactly you can reach to this particular job roles. And last, I'll be, sharing you actually how exactly will you get this certification of this webinar, because you are actually attending this webinar or exclusively on our Siri platform. So let's first drill down what are those new trends, new technologies, and new opportunities. So, as far as technology is concerned, it's not like only pharma or only healthcare. We are now surrounded by technology. So, as we have all seen, like right from your smartphone or right from the application, our Siri application, what you are using, it is now, like it is integrated with the technology. So technology is now became a part of our life, and that is something which is happening in our pharmaceutical industry as well. Say for example, gone are those days where we had this entire warehouse processes in our pharmaceutical industry completely manually. There were time where even I have seen, like some 20 years before, 15 years before, we, for any work at warehouse, any work at our dispensing booth or area, it has to be done manually. But now, because we have technology, even for example, the technologies like robotics, the technologies like machine learning are now getting integrated in our warehouse as far as pharmaceutical industry is concerned. The technologies like, on each and every tablet compression machine, we now have this PLC screen. That is something where you can actually get to know about real time values, or real time analytics of your compression machine. Same is the case with our packaging. Now, right now, the kind of pharmaceutical packaging what we are doing, it is 100% automatic. So that is something where technology is now becoming integral part as far as our pharmaceutical industry is concerned. And as we all know, if technology is coming inside, then there are some advantages, there are some disadvantages. As far as output is concerned, no doubt we are getting precise output as far as our product is concerned. But on the same side, uh, industries are now, they are hiring less people, because the work or the task which, was associated with any human is now replaced by this machine, or now replaced by this technology. So yes, there are some, advantages as well as disadvantages. Similarly, now, one of the major aspect which even our pharmaceutical industry is now involved into is digital processes. For example, now we have this clinical data management, we have this medical transcriptionist, we have this, medical coding, scientific writing. So that is something where each and every job role is now being processed through a digital process. Now, gone are those days where each and every task in our industry or at our workplace, we don't have to maintain this only on paper or only by using paperwork. So that is something which have been, completely revolutionized by using these softwares, by using these digital processes, and it's a part of this industry. Now, as far as clinical trials are concerned, most of the clinical trials are now, happening advanced tech-based clinical trials. Now, what exactly this advanced tech-based clinical trials is, where data is, playing important role. We all, as a pharma professional, we know, like, if any molecule, if any new molecule, we need to enter it in that particular market, it will take maybe, minimum 10 years to maximum 14 years. That too, we don't have, any kind of assurance. To minimize this drug discovery to marketing timeline, whatever timeline we have, 10 to 14, 15 years, if we really need to minimize this timeline, we need to involve technology, and that is something which is happening in clinical trials as well, where data is playing important role. Now there are multiple even, job positions in industry, where there are positions like business analyst, right? So these are the people who basically analyze the entire business function. If any new molecule we wish to launch, if we have certain, blockbuster molecule or blockbuster product, how exactly that product is doing in the market, whether that product is, bringing business to our company, whether that product is bringing profit to our company, whether that product is in demand in the market, or whether that product has other top notch competitors or not. Each and everything is being managed by these people, business analysts. So that is something which is again one of the most important and one of the most highly paid job in any industry, not just in pharma. And last, that is clinical data. As I have mentioned you earlier, clinical data, because clinical trials, clinical research, that is something which is happening since years. But clinical data is something by using which the time period from, a drug discovery to marketing is, getting minimalized. That is something which is an, foremost advantage for this entire clinical process. Now let's talk about the, most important part for which we all are here, that is top 10 highly paid jobs in pharma. So now I'll be, sharing you one by one top 10 highly paid jobs, along with their salary, the packages, annual packages, and how exactly you can enter for this particular job role or for this particular profession. Now, number one is SAP professional. Now, I even agree today, like even eventually, you may be a B Farm student, you may be an M Farm student, but SAP professional, you may have heard this for the first time. But the important role of these SAP professional are across the pharmaceutical industry, be it in your production and packaging department, be it in QA and QC department, be it in regulatory affairs, be it in research and development, technology transfer. SAP professionals are required everywhere. Now, before you get confused, I'll simplify what exactly is SAP, right? SAP is basically a software. The full form of SAP is System Applications Product. So SAP is actually a German-based, software, and this is the widely used software across pharmaceutical industry, not just in India, but across the globe. And as we all aware, every company, they have a kind of software as their backbone. Now, as a SAP professional, what is your role? As a professional, as a SAP professional, you are basically involved into right from initiation of any activity till the exit of that kind of project. Okay. For example, to simplify this example, let's consider you wish to start a new project. Maybe some 15 batches of paracetamol tablets, for which you have a timeline of 30 days. Now, if you want to really manage this entire project in a streamlined way, in a precision way, where you can connect all these departments together, then you have to utilize this software, right? Now, the average salary for SAP professional after like 3 years or 5 years of your career in industry, it is somewhere around 7.5 to 16 lakhs per annum, based on your experience. So that is something where after 5 years, after 7 years, you will have like this kind of package. Now, normally we compare ourselves with engineering graduates, like these guys, they have 7 lakh and 8 lakhs and 10 lakhs package. But eventually, even pharma, they have similar kind of package, but not at entry level. But based on your skills, based on your performance, and based on your experience, even you can have the similar kind of salary. Now, if you wish to be a part of or at this particular position, how you can get into this? Okay, so starting point for freshers is, you can have SAP certification. SAP certification is basically happens at industry level. Okay, so initially what you can do is, once you finish your B Farm or M Farm, you can work in production or packing or tech transfer department for next 2 to 3 years. Meanwhile, you complete your SAP certification, and based on that, then you can enter to have experience on handling SAP. And slowly you can become an expert SAP professional to move ahead. Now, next is number two, international marketing. Now we have heard of medical representatives, sales, and marketing. So international marketing is one of the part into pharmaceutical marketing. As we all know, all these pharmaceutical giants, they are spending more money on sales and marketing as compared to research. The funding for their research is low as compared to their funding on sales and marketing. So because they have huge funding on sales and marketing, international marketing, the professionals who are into international marketing, they basically get higher packages. The average salary for international marketing, once you start working, your salary sorry, your starting point as a fresher, maybe as a D farm or B farm or M farm, your entry level will be as a medical representative. No doubt, because understand one thing, unless and until you have on field experience, your experience will not be considered into international marketing. You need to learn to sell. And that is something which is a core competency requirement as far as this job role is concerned. So once you start working as a medical representative for next 2 to 3 years, Meanwhile, you can complete your MBA and then you can jump to international marketing, right? So that's number two. Number three is research scientist. As we all know, research is the most fundamental and the most core part of pharma. And that's the reason we have, multiple research and development wings. Like we have formulation research and development, we have analytical research and development, we have API research, we have clinical research, we have market research. And that is where your starting point after your MPharm will be a research associate. So that is something which is at entry level. You have to start working as a research associate on a few of the A&DA projects or few of the analytical method development projects or some new NCE molecules. And then slowly you can, jump onto a team leader level. So the average package after, 3 years, 4 years would be somewhere around 8 lakhs to 21 lakhs per annum based on your experience, right? So my advice to you would be, don't focus on your initial salary. Maybe right now you're getting a package of 2.5. Maybe you're, right now getting a package of say like even, 3 lakh rupees. That's fine. That is something which is happening entire in India. But over a period of time, see where you will reach after 3 years. See where you will reach after 5 years based on your consistent performance. That's the key of getting the highest packages in pharmaceutical industry. Next, number four is clinical SAS, that is SAS programmer. SAS is basically statistical analysis system. So as we have seen SAP system, similar kind of SAS, that is basically a software driven, a functionality into this particular job role, where, eventually what happens is our syllabus of like B Farm, M Farm, we do not have such kind of, technical things or technical inputs as far as our academics is concerned. And that's the reason, initially you have to get into in any of these job role. Maybe you can join as a B Farm or as a M Farm. You can join in clinical data management or clinical research coordinator or clinical research associate, right? That is CDM or CDC, CRC and CRA, right? In any job role you can initially start, and make sure you are having additional certification on SAS programmer, right? It will be like, these certifications are at a higher cost, but that you can consider as an investment on your career. Okay, after 3 to 5 years your package would be somewhere around 7 lakhs to 15 lakhs per annum based on your performance and experience. Next, number 5 is pharma process technician or technical services or tech transfer. See, all these designations are one and the same, right? But understand what exactly their job role is. These are basically tech based, people, right, who are closely involved in these processes, who are closely involved into our formulation development, right? And these are the people mostly B Farm plus 5 years experience or M Farm people. These are those, where they initially join at starting point, they join into tech transfer department, and their job role is basically to take care of that formulation, right? Say for example, now you are formulating, now you have a formulation, and now your batch size is 300 kg. Say for example, you have to scale up from 300 kg to 800 kg. So how will you do that to scale up your batch? These are the people, tech transfer or technical services people, who basically involved into scaling up that particular process, right? The average salary after your 3 to 5 years of experience in industry, it is somewhere around 7.5 to 16 lakh per annum based on your performance and experience. Number 6 is data scientist or data analyst. Now, most of the times, even during this session, I often tell people, not just pharma or even engineering and MBA people, I often tell them like, whenever you see data in a designation in that particular job role, pick that opportunity, because data is the new oil. Data is the, a new trend for the entire world, and that is something where data scientists and data analysts, they have a critical role in your clinical research or in clinical trial process, right? But again, your starting point as a fresher would be any department like clinical data management or clinical research associate or clinical research coordinator, right? But again, as a part of this, you can have certain certification. You have to learn certain softwares like SAS into that particular industry, and then you can move to the data scientist or data analyst role. Now, what is the role of data analyst here? The principal role of data analyst is to take care of the entire data which is being produced during this clinical trial process. Maybe you're running this clinical trial process on multiple sites, on multiple volunteers, multiple attempts. So you may experience some, failures. You may experience some adverse reactions. You may experience some, failure stories or success stories. You have to keep a record of this data, and once you have a statistical analysis of this data, that is something which will help company to launch that market, to launch that drug in the market in early time. So that will actually reduce the timeline of your clinical research process, right? So the average salary after 3 to 5 years working into this domain would be anywhere into 8 lakhs to 20 lakhs per annum, based on the experience, the company, the brand, and your performance. Then number 7 is QMS, that is Quality Management System or audit professionals. The average salary for audit professionals is anywhere in between 9 lakhs to 24 lakhs per annum, based on your experience and your performance. That is something which you may have after like 4 to 5 years of your career in quality assurance department, right? So after even your B Farm or M Farm, you can first join quality assurance department, and you have to learn the actual QMS, quality management system. You have to well verse with all these documentation and validation practices over there. You have to have this expertise on different audits, right? Maybe USFDA, maybe MHRA, TGA. Likewise, you should have experience on all these audits. Once you learn, once you understand all these things, then you can become an expert professional into QMS or audit, because having a QMS or having an audit for that particular plant is the most important part for their entire company. And company is then they basically pay very good salary for these professionals, because these are the people who take care of their audit and QMS. Next, number 8 is pharmaceutical sales, right? So sales is something where you can have, it is always being said that sales is, anywhere, not just in pharma, but anywhere, sales is basically have a rocket level of your, growth or financial growth, right? So starting point for sales is medical representative. Maybe you're a D farm or B farm or M farm, anything. You have to initially start with medical representative, and this is something where even you can have a package, right? Since 8.5 to 30 lakhs per annum, it is absolutely based on your performance. And the most fundamental thing for such kind of package which you would require is your passion. You should be really passionate about sales. So that is something which is the core need of pharmaceutical sales, right? So that is very important. Number 9 is regulatory affairs specialist or DRA specialist, that is drug regulatory affairs. So your starting point as a fresher would be after your M Farm or B Farm, you can start your career as simple as regulatory affairs associate, and then you can become a regulatory affairs specialist. Now, what exactly specialist? Regulatory affairs, these are the people who basically manage to file ANDAs, right? Abbreviated new drug applications for different markets. Say, for example, over a period of time, you will develop an expertise on USFDA filing, right? That you have expertise in filing new ANDAs to USFDA. So that is something where you will have your specialty, and industry is very keen to pick this talent who have market specialty. Maybe you are very good in filing ANDAs, maybe you are very good in filing other documentation. Based on your expertise, based on your specialty, industry is the average salary after 3 to 5 years is 9 to 20 lakhs per annum, based on your experience. And last, number 10 is clinical data manager, where the average salary is 8 lakhs to 18 lakhs per annum based on your experience. The starting point for clinical data manager after your M Pharm or B Pharm is CRA, CRC, or CDM. That's clinical research associate or coordinator or clinical data manager, right? Sorry, clinical data management. Now, what is the role of clinical data manager? Manager is basically looks into the entire data part. Wherever and whenever data is being produced through this entire clinical processes, clinical trials, he basically takes care of this entire data. And that's the reason he basically handles this responsible position for that particular company or for that particular CRO. And that's why being a responsible entity of that organization, uh, the salary package or the growth as far as their job responsibility is concerned is at higher side, right? So that's about clinical data manager. So these were the top 10 highly paid jobs in pharma, right? Now if you ask me a reference for these particular top 10 jobs, that is something where the kind of professionals which are there in industry, those I have connected with these industry experts. Maybe I have very good connect on LinkedIn. I have very good connect in industry and corporates. So these are basically our assets who are giving us such kind of inputs. So as a part of this webinar, I'm thankful to all those industry experts, all those experts from corporate, all those experts and connections on LinkedIn, those who have shared me this wonderful information so that I can actually share you this information to you guys so that you can understand the potential of all these positions, right? So this was all about top 10 highly paid jobs. But now the question is, at entry level, where I can actually get such kind of packages, where even if I suppose start my journey with the package of 2.5 of 3 lakhs package in clinical data management, maybe how I can actually reach to the clinical data manager position, how I can become an SAP professional or regulatory affairs professional. So you have to take small baby steps. Unless and until you take these small baby steps in your career, you cannot reach to 10 lakhs and 15 lakhs and 20 lakhs package. That is not happening at entry level, because we are in India and we are in pharma, and we are very sure based on the kind of exposure or the kind of trends which we have in industry, we have slow but steady growth in our industry. You will really experience a straight line financial growth in your career. So that's the key. So at entry level, you have to take baby steps, and that is something where you have to very keen and clear about where I have to reach, right? So the question is how to reach these jobs. So that is somewhere where we have all these industry experts who have shared their inputs, say maybe in pharmacovigilance, maybe in clinical research, and that is something which is anyways available on our Siri platform. So all these courses like clinical research, pharmacovigilance, regulatory affairs, pharmaceutical sales, marketing is already available on our platform. So eventually I'll actually share you a screen where we have all these courses aligned for especially for the pharmacy students. Here you can see now, you may have seen this Siri platform. Here you can see pharmaceutical manufacturing operations, quality assurance, clinical research, sales, marketing, regulatory affairs, medical writing, hospital pharmacy management, even pharmaceutical research and development. So we have all these courses available on our platform, and that will really, really help you to, make a difference at an entry level of your career, right? So that is something which you can explore through our application. As you may have seen our application, we have a series of features and functions on our application, right from courses and webinars and resume, and most important, that is job opportunities, so that you can go on sharing all this content. And as a part of this, recently one of the most important feature which we have brought to all the pharmacy student, that is Siri Pro. So for those who are not aware of Siri Pro, so Siri Pro is basically our all-in-one platform for every pharma student. Maybe you're in first year, maybe in final year, maybe in B Farm or M Farm. Siri Pro will really help you to get into the crystal clarity on your career. You will have everything on this Siri Pro, where you will have access to more than 20 online courses by industry experts. You will have inbuilt job portal precisely for pharma. Then you will have such kind of live webinars by industry experts. You will have video based resume builder, skill mapping report, virtual tour of industry, practice mock test for GPAT, GRE, career opportunity courses, startups, business, and podcast. So this entire thing is available on Siri Pro. And on account of World Pharmacist Day, now for 24th, 25th, and 26th, we are running with a great offer for on account of World Pharmacist Day, where you can enroll for Siri Pro for 1 year, that too in just 999. So that is something which a great opportunity. You can enroll for Siri Pro before 26th of September. This is on account of World Pharmacist Day. So what you can do is you can immediately visit our website. So that's www.opexindia.com. I'll just share you the screen. Once you get on our official website, www on www.opexindia.com. There you can see Siri Pro. And as a part of Siri Pro, you can just go through all the information available on Siri Pro and make sure you are a part of this internationally recognized and award winning platform, which is all in one platform for every pharma student. So that is something where you can go ahead and have this annual subscription, where you will get series of opportunities, series of offerings under one platform. So that is something which is worth sharing. Now back to our presentation, where I am now going to share you your certificate for this webinar. So you can just have a screenshot of this QR code. You can scan this QR code, you can fill this information, and then your webinar certificate will be available to you. Okay, but this QR code is available for any for actually a short time only, right? So within just 10 to 15 minutes, you have to just scan this QR code. Otherwise, what will happen is most of the students, if they circulate amongst their friends and everything, then those who have actually not attended the webinar, they will anyways get their certificates. So make sure you are avoiding that. And within 10 to 15 minutes, you have to just scan this QR, you have to just fill this information, and you can have your certification of this webinar. So with this, I conclude this today's webinar on top 10 highly paid jobs in pharma. You can also reach out to me on LinkedIn as well as on Instagram. We are also going ahead with this Siri Pro with most of the institutions. So let us know if we want if you want us to reach to your institution. We are open to be there at your institute, so that we can orient all your students, and all the students, they can take advantage of our Siri Pro. So that is it for today's webinar. Thank you so much.